a big old good morning. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the stream. Happy Wednesday, aka Hump Day. I just love Hump Days, so I can scream Hump Day like that. Plus that GIF. You know what day it is? Hump Day. I can post up the GIF. I love it. Wednesday, baby. We're back. It is February 5th, 8:03 in the morning, and we are starting the rundown. All right, the rundown show, baby, here on TikTok, on YouTube as well. We're going to analyze the market, get you guys prepared. I'm doing all the hard work for you, and I'm going to hand you the best of the best on a silver platter. So you know exactly what to look at, what levels to look at, what we're looking to trade today, so you guys will be all set, ready to crush it. But, as always, all right, as always, before we dive into it, hit me with a big old good morning, and then drop your location as well. Where are you guys tuning in from at this point in time? If you guys are on YouTube, location me up, okay? I'm not going to come try and find you. I'm not going to, snoop on you or anything. Maybe I do. Who knows? But yeah, where are you guys tuning in from? Frank, good morning. Tom, what's up, brother? Good morning. Tulsa in the house. Also sup, West Palm in Florida. Chattanooga. I've been to Chattanooga one time. I love Gatlinburg, Pigeon Forge. Love it. Love Tennessee, man. We kind of want to move to Tennessee. Indiana. I feel bad for you. I was born and raised in Terrible Hope, Indiana, so I feel you. Indiana, man. Come on down to Florida. It's so much better down here. That's what's up. West Virginia, Mongolia. What else? Who else? We got New Orleans in the house. That's what's up. Never been. Want to go. I feel so much better. Thank you guys so much. I feel a lot better. All just getting doped up on medicine and sleeping a lot the last 3 days. I feel wonderful. I feel good, but I'm going to preserve some of this energy and not just give it all today, because then what do I got for the rest of the week? I'm good, man. I feel great. Got PA, Connecticut. Love it. All right, that's what's up. I'm feeling great, guys. Yeah, so we're going to dive into it. So here's what we're going to do to get started. We're going to review some stuff to make sure you guys are dialed in. What do we got on the economic calendar for today? Some key events, data that you guys need to be mindful of. Take a look at the earnings calendar as well, so you know what we have for earnings coming on up. Why does that matter? I was a new trader at one point. I'd be like, oh, Apple looks good for a swing trade. And I would get into a swing trade, and then the thing would dump and gap down the next day. I'm like, what happened? And I'm like, oh, there was earnings. So we'll look at the earnings calendar so you know what's going on in the market. And then just, again, kind of do a quick little scan over the stock market as a whole. See what's gapping up, gapping down, where the biggest movers at. That'll start to give us some direction on what we want to look at. And then we'll start to dive into the technicals, right? Finding the best of the best stocks, building some plans. Like I said, just handing you guys the best of the best on a silver platter. All right. West Virginia, Australia. That's what's up. I want to go there too. From Houston, Atlanta, Vegas. Is that what he says? Houston, Atlanta, Vegas? From Houston. That's what's up. All right. So let's go ahead and dive into it, ladies and gentlemen. Again, good morning. Welcome back. I am happy to be here. So quick look at the SPY. We are gapping down a smidge. Yesterday's close at 601.78 to 599.67 here on pre-market today. So if you look at, SPY futures, you're down about 0.4%, but we're bouncing pretty nice here in pre-market on the SPY. Came down to a nice little daily zone. We're starting to move on back up, so we may see a nice flat open. We could gap up. You never know. But we got some data today. Data could impact that, so we'll definitely talk about it. Look at the Qs as well. A little bit of a gap down here on QQQ. Yesterday, we closed at 524.47. Right now, we're trading at 520.78 here in pre-market, about 0.7% to the downside. So nothing too crazy, but you definitely saw some nice moves down. And both with the SPY and the Qs, we're coming down into some daily levels, and we're just starting to bounce on off those here in the pre-market sesh. All right, so let's go ahead and just scan the economic calendar, and let's get an idea of what we have going on for the day, because this week was a data heavy week. I mean, we had a lot going on. Yesterday, we had JOLTS job openings. Didn't really see the market react too heavily to that. Monday, we had ISM manufacturing PMI. And look at the rest of the week. Look at tomorrow. We got some jobless claims data. And then Friday is a nice big day with some non-farm payrolls. We got unemployment data, Michigan consumer sentiment. I mean, Friday is a data-heavy day. Today, pre-market, you don't really have too much going on, right? You look at 8:30, what's coming up. We have some medium impact data, nothing too crazy. Got balance of trade here, imports and exports. And then at 9 a.m., you do have Fed Barkin speaking as well. Right, then after market open at 9:45, we have S&P Global Composite, and then services, PMI. So you can see here, TradingView likes to shade those 3 bars, whether it's a low impact event, medium, or high impact. So we can see that's medium impact. I'm really concerned about high impact events, especially when markets open. We're looking to take some trades because the market could move crazy. We've seen it happen time and time again. So what kind of high impact data do we have today? Well, we have ISM services PMI data, guys. All right. So if you're wondering what ISM services is, besides it just being high impact, here's a little bit of a simple breakdown. So like an 8-year-old could potentially understand it. So the ISM services PMI is the Purchasing Managers Index. That's what PMI stands for. It's basically a report that tells us how well the service part of the economy is doing. So services like, healthcare, education, retail, restaurants, transportation, a lot more too. Really just services such as that, right? And it's a report that tells us how the service part of the economy is doing. Index is based on a survey that they go out and survey business managers in those specific industries, right? And it's really, really important because services make up a big chunk of the U.S. economy, just about 90%. And this really gives us a nice, comprehensive, big picture overview as far as how are things going in the economy, right? And it's just a survey. They go out there and survey business managers, and we're looking for one of two things. If the number's above a 50, it means the services economy is growing, aka getting better. If we see a number below a 50, it means the service economy is shrinking, which means it's getting worse, right? So if we take a look at what we have here at 10 o'clock, again, we have ISM Services PMI, right? Previous read was at a 54.1, so it's above the 50, shows us the service economy is getting better. We're actually forecasted today to come in at a 54.3. That's the forecast, so a little bit higher than previous. So let's say we come in lower than the forecast. Well, that's not great. Market could react to that and see some negative, downside. All right, let's say we come in substantially below 50, well below the forecast, and you're like, why is the market dumping? Well, that's why. So again, we don't know what the data is going to be like. We can see there's not a huge spread between what it was previously last month and what they're forecasting now. It's actually about 2.2 points, 0.2 points higher than the previous is the forecast for today. So that's going to be at 10 o'clock, guys. Got to be super mindful that we have this dropping at 10. And any kind of big jump to the upside to the downside, the market could react to it. If it's in line with the forecast, moderate reaction, nothing too crazy. If you get something substantially higher than the forecast, we could see a great reaction. Something substantially lower than that forecast, you could see a bad reaction. You could really see the market move off this. So 10 o'clock, be mindful. That's what we have coming on up after market open. ISM Services, PMI. Right? Other than that, what do we have for the rest of the day? A couple Fed members speaking. Nothing too crazy. 1 o'clock p.m. Eastern time, you got Fed Goolsbee speaking. Here at 3 p.m. Eastern, you got Fed Bowman. And then here later tonight, you got Fed Jefferson. All right, so that's what's on the economic calendar for today, and that's what you guys need to be mindful of. All right, looking at the pre-market change, we got some stuff gapping down, guys. You got Apple down 2% right now at this point in time. Shares were down at like 1.3%. China considers a probe into the Apple into App Store practices. So that was the PR this morning on Apple that caused the thing to be down like 3% at one point. China reportedly considers probe into App Store practices. And you can see that we were down just about 3% when that report came out. Right now, we're bouncing back up a little bit, down about 2% on Apple, which is great because I see a swing trade down at like 222 to grab calls on Apple. So I'm cool with that. Keep coming down. Keep dropping some bad PR. Get it on down to that 222 so I can get into a swing trade. You look at Goog off earnings last night, down about 7.5%. So earnings, floppy, down a little bit here. And we're seeing some other stuff getting pulled down along with it. You got Amazon down 1%, Tesla down 1%. Then AMD. Where's AMD at? I know AMD's down pretty substantially as well. 10% to the downside on AMD. So we got some nice discounts on some quality names. AMD is a quality company. Goog's a quality company, down 7%, 10%. Apple's getting pulled down 2% based on that PR, which is great because it's coming down into some really solid areas where I want to get long for a swing trade. So I look at this as just great opportunity. Maybe we see Goog bounce back up. Maybe there's some lower areas to get in for some long-term investing. I look at being down 7%, being down 10%, just great buying opportunity in the market. So that's what we kind of got going on this morning in pre-market. And then lastly, we need to take a look at the earnings calendar as well, because we do have, I think, 2 more big names tonight drop in earnings. We don't. That's tomorrow. Tomorrow's Amazon. So if you take a look at the earnings calendar, we got 4 tonight. You got Qualcomm, ARM, a few other names that I'm not really too crazy about. I could care less. Tomorrow morning, I got Roblox. I own Roblox long term, so we'll see what happens there. But tomorrow, after the close, got a couple more big names. You got Amazon. Boom. Looking forward to Amazon earnings. You got Cloudflare. Then you have Affirm tomorrow after the close as well. And that's pretty much wrapping up a very hot earnings season. Now, we definitely have more right around the corner, but we've already seen a lot of the Mag 7 report. And I think what's left is NVIDIA is what's left. I think there may be one more, but a majority of the Mag 7 we've already seen report, right? So got Apple reported already. You got Tesla's already reported. You got Meta report. You got AMD report. Google last night. You got Amazon this week. I think what's next is just NVIDIA. And that's going to be into February. So that's February 26th. And that'll be the last of the Mag 7 coming up. So that's what you got on the earnings calendar for the rest of the week, guys. So you guys are dialed. You guys are ready to rock. You know what we have going on the economic calendar. What's moving the market? Why are the indexes down? The SPY, the Q's down this morning. Obviously getting pulled down because we had some earnings last night. AMD down 10%. Goog down 7%. So that's pretty much what we got going on. All right. So now, finally, Josh, the moment we've been waiting for. We could care less about getting prepared. We could care less about being dialed in for the day. Just give me the best stocks, man. Where's the best stocks? How do I make money? I want you guys to have a process that you follow. I want you guys to be smart traders, and this is the process that you should get into every morning to understand why the market's moving, right? Is it an overreaction? Could we bounce on back up? What could market conditions be like today? What kind of key data do we have? If you're looking for swing trades, what's on the earnings calendar? You should follow these steps and get into a good routine of doing shit like this on a daily basis, right? You want to be a pro trader? You want to make some money? Do the little things that most traders don't do. But again, now the moment you guys have been waiting for. All right, let's go ahead and dive into some stock review for you guys. All right. So what stocks are you looking at? What stocks do you want me to analyze for you and see what we got for the day? But before I do that, get 10,000 likes and then we'll dive into it. I'm not joking. 10,000 likes and then I'll answer questions. No, I'm kidding. I'll answer them anyway, but when we get 10,000 likes, we'll get there. All right, what do we got? Crystal, thank you. I need this direction. Absolutely. No one else does this shit. They just come in and they find something that's moving. They're like, oh, this stock's moving. Let me buy it. And if you guys are judging me right now, go for it. I don't care. Hello, gorgeous. What's up? Hello, gorgeous. But yeah, most traders don't do this. They don't showcase process, systems, steps, really just getting prepared for the day. They're just like, oh, I'm going to trade this stock because it's ticking up. And I'm like, best of luck, buddy. Best of luck. They just set bad examples, man. That's it. But appreciate the kind words. Yes. Yeah. You know what? Amen to that, brother. Amen to that. Before we do anything, we're going to get 10,000 likes, like I said. But amen to that, brother. What am I even thinking? Every morning I post up our daily devotional inside of our Discord free community. So if you guys want to join the free community, the link's in my profile. Feel free. But yeah, every morning I post up our daily devotional. So here was today's. All right, here was today's. Be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to anger. That's James 1, 19 through 20. And so this is the devotional breakdown. My dear brothers and sisters, understand this. Everyone should be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to anger. For human anger does not accomplish God's righteousness. Again, James chapter 1, verse 19 through 20. And so in a world where everyone wants to be heard, James is teaching us a very powerful lesson that we need to listen first, speak carefully, and control our anger. You know, too often as humans, we react rather than respond. We speak before truly understanding, and we really let the emotions get the best of us. I mean, how many of you can resonate that and apply that to your trading, right? Just think about it, right? We react before we sit down and think and process, before we truly understand to learn from a situation, right? Before we let the emotions get the best of us. I mean, imagine taking a trade that it was a loser. You know what I mean? Like, what's your knee-jerk reaction? You're frustrated. You're overthinking it. Maybe you're angry. You let your emotions get the best of you and you just react prematurely. And what does that lead to? More losses, right? Revenge trading. So you can apply this to anything in life. Apply this to your relationships. Apply this to your career. Apply this to trading. I mean, this is applicable anywhere in life, right? So James is basically urging us to be quick to listen, to sit down, be present, listen, connect with God, listen. No knee-jerk reaction to anger, letting the emotions get the best of you, but just be quicker to listen and slower to reacting. Truly processing what others are saying, or even processing what just happened before we just jump the gun and jump back into it. He reminds us to be slow to speak, slow to react, using words with wisdom instead of haste. And lastly, we must be slow to anger because, again, human anger rarely leads to godly outcomes. And so how do we apply this in our life? Just pause before reacting. And again, you can apply this to your trading, guys, right? So pause before reacting. Take a moment to listen and process for responding or before reacting. Just take a moment, breathe, turn to God and say, God, I'm frustrated. I'm angry right now, right? I know what happens when I give into this frustration. I'm tempted to get back into the market and revenge trade, right? So, hey, just help me calm down, right? I'm here with you, present in the moment, and just take that moment and pause. Take a moment with God. Get intentional with them before reacting. That's going to help you, specifically tie the trading, do what, right? Not give into the emotions so hastily, not go revenge trade, right? It's going to give you that moment to pick yourself back up. Use words wisely, right? Don't talk negatively about yourself. Don't talk negatively to other people. Don't be hostile to other people or to yourself, right? Again, we can apply this to us in trading. Speak with grace, right? Give yourself some grace, guys, right? We're human. We make mistakes. We're not perfect, right? So if we make a mistake in the market and something happens, just pay yourself some grace. Speak with grace, understanding, and be patient with yourself, right? So use words wisely. Words are power, guys. And then control your anger. Huge one. Control your anger. Not just with trading, but in life. Control your anger if you got road rage. Control your anger if you got a kid that doesn't listen. Just control your anger. Respond thoughtfully rather than letting your emotions take over. So here's a couple things to reflect on, guys. All right. So what does this passage reveal about God's nature? Take a moment and think about that. How does this passage challenge your daily interactions, your daily steps that you take, things that you do on a daily basis? And then what do you need to confess right now, right? Do you speak too quickly? Do you react too quickly? Or do you take that second to pause, reflect, connect with God, right? And then how can you practice more patience and better listening? So go ahead and take some time to reflect upon those things and just apply this your day-to-day life. You apply this to your day-to-day life, you're going to see this bleed into your trading. And if this bleeds into your trading, and this is how you start acting versus reacting, let's be honest, you'll start to become a much better, well-rounded, stable trader. All right? So that's our daily devotional for the day. Appreciate whoever reminded me of that. We got to start sharing that with you guys here on TikTok as well. But all right, let's dive into it. All right, stock time. Yeah, amen. All glory be to God, guys. So yes, let's go ahead and dive into some stock analysis. All right. If you missed the devotional, go to YouTube, right? It's The Real Josh Howerton on YouTube. I'm streaming there as well. It's on demand. You can rewind the live stream and go back to the devotional if you want. Okay, first one, we got XRP. I'll look at XRP. No, I love crypto, guys. I trade crypto. I invest in crypto. I love crypto. All right, so let's do some quick TA on XRP for you guys, and then we'll dive into stocks. We're going to do about 3 to 5 minutes per stock. We got about 35 minutes to run this, so that gives us potential to do about 5 to 6 reviews. So we'll start with XRP here and get an idea of what we have going on. And I think we're going to start to roll. I think personally, right now, with what we got going on with the tariffs and some new policy that's being implemented, which are great things, I think that could send an initial shock, specifically through like the crypto market. We can definitely see this impact the overall stock market as well. So I personally think, based on that, based on some technicals, that there's some downside to come here, more downside. We had that quick dip, here's Sunday night. We got bought right back up, but personally, I think that's short-lived. I do. I think there's going to be more downside. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. Let's get an idea of what we have on XRP, guys. All right, so right now, we can clearly see that you have just this nice big barrier of resistance on XRP. Okay. So we ran up into this zone, it was like 278 to 282, back here early December. We broke it, held it, and then kind of see what we just did here the last couple of days. We got below it, retested it 2 days back to back as resistance. We failed to get above it. So if we can't get back above this 278 to 282 region, I do think there could be a little bit more downside here on XRP. Okay, but here's the flip side. All right, I always look at both sides of the market. If we keep falling from that zone, there's definitely more downside, at least back down to like $2. And then you're looking to be back down around like the 140s, right in this region here, right around the 140s. But I want to look at the opposite side of the market, man, because I want to remove bias and just look at both sides. So if we like snap back above that zone and we come up into this daily downtrend just to regain that zone as support on the daily, and we start to push off that zone, that would be a higher low push off that zone, and that could lead to a break of that daily downtrend and then see a lot more explosive upside, right? So that's something that we very well could see play out. We've seen it time and time again. So that's where my head is right now with XRP. If we continue to trickle down, fade and fall, and we don't get back above this 278 to 282 region, I see realistic potential for XRP to at least get back down into this lower region here. That's like 135 to 140. I will be buying more XRP there. Absolutely. I will be scooping up a lot more XRP, 100%. But if for any reason we see XRP snapping back above that zone, holding above it on the daily with a higher low, and we start to break that daily downtrend, I do think we see more explosive upside. So now what? We got to be patient, wait, either for the snap back above, the regain for the push. Those will be some nice entries on XRP if that plays out. Or we just wait for it to get down to that 135, 140 level. And that's where I'm going to start buying more XRP if we get there. Do I do futures? I trade futures, yeah. I prefer trading options. Do I accept one-on-one Zoom calls? Only with my mentorship students. Yeah, daily's very weak on Bitcoin. We're finally below the 50 SMA, retesting it. Historically, when we see Bitcoin getting below and holding below the 50 SMA, we see downside. So go back here, look at Bitcoin back in 2021, below the 50 SMA, pretty sizable drop. Get back below the 50 SMA, pretty sizable drop. So when we start to get below the 50 and really hold below that 50, we usually just see some sideways, choppy, right? More of this consolidation. Or we start to see the start of a little bit of a bigger pullback here. So that's kind of one thing I'm looking at. Plus, you got 100K resistance overhead. And there's some great levels to the downside that we can get back into for seeing Bitcoin really start to pick on back up. So I even see some weakening with Bitcoin at the same time. I agree. All right, so that was XRP. Let's get into some stocks now. Stock time. QQQ, let's do it. Let's dive into the Qs. All right, so here's what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you the daily zones, and then I'm going to build some plans around these zones. So we got this zone right here on QQQ, right? And this zone is between 5/19/18 and 5/19/62. All right, that's our line in the sand for today. Top resistance was a daily resistance level that we smacked yesterday. Couldn't break it, got rejected, fell pretty hard. That top zone on the Qs is 5/24/18 to 5/24/84. All right. And then I'm going to give you one more lower zone to the downside. That's down right around 5/14/64 to 5/15/04. There on the Qs. And then one other thing that I want you guys to do is flip the Qs into a 15-minute time frame. And go ahead and mark up that final 15-minute candle close from post-market last night. Just throw a zone around it. That's 5/22/70 to 5/23/02. All right. And so here's a couple plans, right? And if we see this play out, we see these types of setups, I'll be looking to take these trades. So number one, if we open on up, push into that 15-minute block, right? That little final 15-minute candle from post-market, that 5/22/70 to like 5/23/02 region, and we see a reaction out of it, then I would look to play puts and get short off that level for the drop back down to that 5/19/50 zone. So that's going to be my first plan. If I see that play out, I'm taking that short trade to the downside. But if we come up and just break through that block, I will remove it altogether because it won't flip support. We don't treat it that way. And I'll be hands off until we get up into that next zone around 5/24/18 to 5/24/84. And if we see that we're holding below it again today as resistance, like we did yesterday several times, I'll then look to play some put contracts, looking for some downside. You're on the Qs. But, wait, there's more. What if we break that top zone? What if we break, that 5/24 zone? What if we get above it and hold above it? Well, we could absolutely see the market push higher, right? Absolutely. So where's the next area to the upside that the Qs has realistic potential to get to? It's not that far away. It's not that far away, but this would be the next area that we could get to here on QQQ. And that would be right around 526. Be right around 526 on the Qs. So that's going to be another plan, is if we just break through that 524 zone and we see price staying at it, above it, holding it, then we'll get long from that 524 zone up into this 526 zone. And that'll just be how we trade that, if that's what sets up. And we'll just play some calls to the upside on that. All right. So what's the next step? Right? Just waiting for the Qs to open at 9:30 and then waiting for price to get to one of these zones. That's it. Wait. And then when price gets to one of these zones, just read price action. Right? If you see good price action and there's more sellers than buyers here, then get short. You come down to that key support zone first, and price action showing you there's more buyers than sellers present, just get long. And that's it. Super simple. Right? Same thing you could have done yesterday on the Qs. We had that 524 zone yesterday. It was a valid zone. And what did we see on the Qs? Right? It came up into that zone. We clearly see there's more sellers than buyers present. You guys see how we just sat there. We started to roll on over. We didn't break it. There's more sellers than buyers at a key zone. What do? We take puts. And then we saw a nice drop on down. That was a $2 drop to the downside. That's a big move for options, right? That's a big move for options. So, yeah, I mean, that's exactly what we saw yesterday. So that's all you have to do. Find your zones, number one. Number two, let the market open. Number three, let the stock get to the zone. Number four, read price action correctly. Number five, just trade accordingly. Most of the time, you'll actually be on the right side of the trade, and you'll have some winning trades versus losing trades. So that's the Qs. All right. All right. So it was the Qs. What else do we have? I want to make sure I'm not missing any. I want to go in order as well. So we had QQQ. Dustin said, my dude. Uber. All right, Uber. Uber down on earnings. What are we down this morning? We are down about like 7-8%, it looks like. Did we come up into supply first? We got close. We got close to that little block. Not quite. And now we're pushing down. So you're going to have some potential supply down here. Did a continuation. I mean, you saw this impulsive move on up way back in the day in 2024. Right? Drop, base, rally. So there's your drop. There's your base. There's your impulsive move up. Very nice impulsive move. 60 to 70 on that move. Nice little gap up as well on the daily. You gap down on the weekly before popping. But you could probably go back and look at that candle. Gap up, down, push. You know, not really any kind of weekly confluence. Daily, weekly, monthly. I mean, you got a nice little block there. You know, you got a nice little block here on Uber that we can come down and smack it and see a nice little reaction off of it. So, I mean, that kind of puts you down around 60.18 to 61. So you're like between 60 and 61 bucks. And then if you just kind of scroll that left, that zone, I mean, you just also establish it's a nice little level of support resistance, right? And you got that little block before that gap up and that nice impulsive move to the upside. So I like that. That's a nice little area on Uber. So that's kind of the next main level that I see to the downside. What else? Here's going to be a nice little area right here on Uber. This is just a basic support resistance level. All right, so let's color code these so you can see the difference. Then you got like a nice little daily support resistance zone. That's right in this region here between, is that 63.12 to 63.50. See how we put in a little double top back here, 2023 off that level, little double top there. Broke above it, held it to support, nice big rip to the upside, came back down, held it, nice big push to the upside. We were below it here for a little bit as resistance, so that's a very solid area here on Uber. And that's kind of close to where we're at right now today. Where's Uber at? We're close. We may touch it today. We may see a trade on Uber today off that level. Where would we play it long back to? I mean, let's say we hold that level. Very possible. Where would we look to play it long back to? I would say right here around like 65 bucks. Right around 65 bucks. There on Uber. So let's go ahead and get this down into a 5-minute time frame, and let's see where she's at. She already came down to that daily zone at 65. Getting a little bit of a bounce. So here's how I would look to trade Uber today if it was me. If we hold that $65 level, I would look to get long Where to? That little lower high from pre-market. That's right around 67.5. I mean, that's $2.50 upside. That's realistic. So yeah, that's trade idea number one is if we come down, hold 65, that daily zone, I would get long back up to 67.5. It's a nice trade, $2.50 to the upside. If we fall below that $65 zone and hold below it today as resistance, I would get short and play puts at 65 down to 63.20. 63.20, so it's about $1.75 the downside into that zone. And then if we fall below that 63.25 level, I see a lot of great potential down to this 60-61 area on Uber today. So, I mean, honestly, I think Uber can move nice. I think we could see a couple dollars to the upside, at least a couple dollars to the downside, maybe more. There could be upwards of $5 of downside if we get below 65, stay below 65, and come on down to the lower 60s. There's some great potential on down. And even if we hold 65, I mean, at least we know there's some room back up to 67.5. That's awesome, man. We could definitely see some decent movement on Uber today. So I like it. I'm going to put that towards the top of the list. Yeah, that's something that I would absolutely, look at today. That's something I would absolutely trade today. I think there's good enough potential here. I like the daily areas that we're sitting at. I like the fact that we already see that one respected in pre-market. It looks good. Like it. You guys stop the lights. That's weird. Yeah, you just, hey, we got 10,000. Let's stop. I mean, you guys got 17,000. That's awesome. Let's keep it going, guys. You are the best mentor, and God bless you abundantly. I appreciate you, brother. I appreciate you, man. We're going in order. So that was Uber. What was after Uber? Okay, I'm scrolling back up. I'm going in order. It's only fair. Uber. We did Qs. You're good on that. Coin. Coin was next. All right. Coin, baby. Obviously, if we see Bitcoin roll, we could see coin follow suit. They like to move in sympathy quite a bit. They correlate pretty tight. And don't get me wrong, coin's going to do its own thing if there's good PR, there's a catalyst, if we got earnings. Coin's still going to do its own thing independently from Bitcoin. But if we see Bitcoin like drop, it's very, very realistic that we see a coin move in sympathy to Bitcoin, right? So that's, just something to be mindful of. Other than that, honestly, it looks like we got more downside coming. Look at that. Look at that on coin. So hit these highs, drop, lower high off the trend line rejection, lower high off the trend line rejection. We could see that it's starting to kind of step its way on down. This looks like it may start to roll on over here. And I do see downside to like at least 221 on coin. What level would we have to get below? Oh, dude, look at that. That's solid. This is a good looking chart. This is a good looking chart on coin. So go ahead and throw a zone on coin between. It's a pretty big one. I'm gonna say that it's pretty big. She said, 269.60 to like 274.60. It's a $5 zone, but it is what it is. We had all that daily resistance back here, March 2024. Hit it again, July 2024, big drop. Came up to it here, got rejected, gapped up above it, held to the support bounce, and you're starting to see it hold again. Here are some near support. So, all right, if we hold that level, so here's where my head is. This is how I would analyze coin. If we hold that zone as support and we start to see a push higher off that zone and we start to break that multi-month downtrend on coin, I think that could lead to a push back up to 306, 307, then like 320, and then potentially even back up to 345. So that's if we hold this lower zone of daily support. It's a big one. It's 269.60 to 274.60. But if that level holds, we push, we break this downtrend, I do think we start to see a little bit more upside into these highs right here, like 302, 303. These highs right here around 320, and then back up to those highs there at 346. But you guys know me, I like to look at both sides of the market, both sides of a stock. If we get below that zone and hold below it, something like that, then I think there's a lot of room down to 221 on coin. And if we ever get below 221, look at that big daily gap that could get filled on coin. That puts you at 197. So if we see Bitcoin fizzle, starts to fade, drop on off a little bit harder and heavier, very realistic, we see coin move in sympathy, get below that zone, stay below it, and then just correlate and move in sympathy to Bitcoin. Unless there's an independent catalyst on coin that allows this thing to get some action to the upside. And there very well could be. You do have earnings coming up here on February 13th. So you got earnings right around the corner on coin. So yeah, again, that's my analysis on coin. I think there's upcoming potential, but I don't see anything for today. Like Uber, I see something for today, right? Coin, I don't see anything actionable for today, but I think it should be on watch for the next couple of weeks, as there could be some really nice opportunity, depending on how this starts to develop, starts to set up here in the coming weeks. So that's what I got here for you. All right, what's next? I'm just scrolling up, looking to see what's next. That was coin. Apple. Apple's a swing trade for me. I posted this up on my socials as well. So if you guys don't follow me on like X and Threads, go click the links in my profile and go follow me, because I am going to start posting up analysis on stocks, like swing trades and stuff. So this morning, swing trades have been scarce lately, but I'm starting to spot some solid opportunities thanks to earnings, thanks to some nice movement in the market. My next A+ swing trade is on Apple, looking for Apple calls around 222. I'm going to throw stops at 119. First target's near 238, then 246. I'm going 60 days out on expiration. I'm curious to see where this one takes us. So just to make sure you always get those updates in the analysis, just go follow me on X, Threads. Those links are pinned in the link in my profile here on TikTok. So make sure you guys do that. I'm going to be posting up more analysis on those channels as well. But yeah, Apple, man. So I see some nice demand down here on Apple. So we got some like demand around this 221.70 to 22.50. I know technically we would bring that zone up to like 224, but I'm going to tighten it up, because when I tighten it up, I'm also getting just a very simple, very nice level of daily support right near some of this daily demand that we have here. Okay. So we got some demand down here. Great little level of support resistance we've hit several times. So that really stands out to me. And here's the last thing that stands out on Apple. Check this out. Actually, two more things that stand out on Apple. So if you go back to this low right here from August and connect this low that was just put in here in January, this will be a trend line bounce as well. So we have a trend line, and that's 0.3 the trend line, which if you guys don't know about trend lines, 0.3s of trend lines are the highest probability trades off a trend line is a 0.3. So that's a 0.3 coming in. So you got the trend line for a 0.3. That's one reason to get long there, right? We have that daily zone of support. It's a significant zone. We can see that there was demand created there as well. That's three separate reasons to look for a trade. And what else do you know about the 200 SMA? 200 SMA is the strongest moving average that's respected as support resistance. We come down to the 200 SMA, we bounce. Come down to the 200 SMA, we bounce. Come down to the 200 SMA, we bounce. It's a very strong moving average that's respected as support resistance. So what else do you have right there on Apple? You got your 200 SMA. Bam! 4 separate reasons to look for a trade here on Apple. 4 separate reasons. You got a nice trend line, great support, some demand, 200 SMA. All of that lines up and intersects to the penny at 222. So if Apple comes down to 222, I'm going to get calls going 60 days out for a swing trade, putting stops under this low right here, stops under the 200-day moving average, stops under the trend line, stops under demand, under the zone. It's a very low risk trade. You got about $3 of risk on the daily. And first target is 238. So first target, 238. You're risking down to 219. So you got $3 of risk, $16 of upside reward, 16 bucks. That's a 5-to-1 risk reward, guys. That's a 5-to-1. If you get positioned to lose 200 bucks on this trade, you can make 1,000. You get positioned to lose 500 bucks on this trade, which is kind of where I'm going to be at, about 3 to 5 of risk. I'm going to put myself in a position to get 2 to 2,500 out of the swing trade. But my risk is low, 3 to 5 on the swing trade, potential to get, 2K, 2,500 bucks on the Apple swing. I like Apple. Apple looks solid. Yeah, looking for call entries down around 222, and I think we may get there soon, hopefully. We could get there today. I mean, we're close. Apple just needs to come down, 5 points today into that 222, and we may have our entries for today on Apple. Looks really good. Uber already had earnings, and Uber's down about 8% right now. Stops on Apple, 219 on Apple. So if Apple gets the 219, I'm out. Entry on Apple, 222. Stops at 219. First target, 238. Josh, you bring so much value. Appreciate you, man. I appreciate you. Yeah, make sure you guys join the free community, too. Not just an awesome free community, but there's tons of education. You get support from traders that have decades of experience. So you can show up, ask questions, get help, get some guidance. A lot of free trainings that we put together as well. So yeah, make sure you guys go join the free community. It's free, guys. But here's the deal. If you guys join, at least use it. I mean, we have like 80% of the people that join, they don't use it, right? It's like, why would you come in to be a better trader but not use it? So at least do me that one thing, that if you do join, just be active, engage, ask questions, let us help you. That's the point of it. If I see that you're inactive for a couple of weeks and there's just no activity for like 2 weeks, I'm just going to remove you guys. So all I ask is that you guys use it, because the whole point of doing it is to help you guys become better traders and help you guys make some money and win. There's tons of great stuff in the free community. So real quick, before we dive into the last review, just go to my profile on TikTok, right? So you leave the live stream, go to my profile. You see that big link tree link right there. There's a link tree. You click it, and then you see where it says join free community. Click the join button, and then scroll down and just hit that button that says join free community. All right, when you get into the free community, you're going to have access to some of the rooms here. Just follow the steps, get onboarded, unlock the rooms. There's just a couple steps to follow. It takes like a couple minutes. But get into the free education room. All right, there's a lot of great education. So we did a mini futures trading course. If you guys want to learn how to get started with trading futures, there's a 50-minute long little mini course around futures. You guys get that for free. How I find my daily zones that I've been doing with you this morning, you guys get that for free. How to structure your account, how to create risk parameters, how to plan option trades when it comes to risk reward. Basically, how to stop trading randomly. How many of you guys feel like your trades are random? Probably a lot. That's basically going to help you eliminate the randomness from your trading. Just make you more profitable. Free. 10 steps that I want you guys to follow this year to become a good trader, profitable trader. You guys get that. How to use fib retracement tools. And then 6 other trainings that I give you guys as well. So waiting for the market to come to you, risk analysis with options, top-down zoning, confluences and confluence assessment, some mindset trainings from our mindset coach, Julian. And then how do you guys get prepared in the market every morning? What are those steps to follow? And then reading price action. So shit, like 15 lessons, 15 like solid, awesome lessons that are going to completely change the game for you. So go through the lessons, and then guess what? You're going to have questions. So then what? You go over here to the trade floor and you say, hi, my name is so-and-so. I watched this training. I have a question. Enter, send. Then guess what? We're going to help you. We're going to make some recommendations. We're going to point you in the right direction. We're going to support you guys. All right, so take advantage of it. And we're going to help you guys out. It's simple stuff. Number one step to becoming a better trader, be here every day and follow Josh. I appreciate it, Guns. That means a lot, man. I got time for one more stock review. Yes, I got time for one more. What was the last one? Walmart. Let's look at Walmart tomorrow. Walmart still has it set up, right? So we talked about Walmart last week. It needs to come back down to 95.70 first. It's like 95.70, 95.90. Walmart needs to get back down to that level first before we have any kind of actionable trade. So there's just nothing here yet. Nothing here yet. All right. Someone said the X link was no good. What do you mean? Well, let's go find out. All right, so follow me on X. That's good. Look at that. Takes you right there. And then give me a follow. We already got 5 new followers. Yay. Thank you. And then like my post. Do me a favor, seriously. I'm trying to get some traction with my other socials. I don't use them. It's always been TikTok and YouTube, but trying to get more active on like X and Threads, Instagram too, because I know there's a lot of people I can reach and help on those platforms. So if you guys find value from the content that I provide, the live streams, the posts, it means a lot if you guys just like it and repost it. Like it and share it. And it takes like a couple seconds. Like it, share it, leave a comment. It really helps out. And yeah, I just like doing this, guys. I like showing up. I like helping you guys out. I don't ask for a lot. I just ask for likes. I ask for engagement if you're in the free community. And just share the love. You know, it really helps us out. NVIDIA, last one. So here's the plan on NVIDIA. If we get back below 120 and hold below 120 today, I'm getting short back down to 118. That was easy. That was easy peasy. Yes, so NVIDIA, the only level that I have for today is the prior gap level at 120. So if for any reason we see NVIDIA like getting back below 120 and we have great price action at 120 and we see there's more sellers present than buyers, I want to get short back down to 118 today on NVIDIA. Right now, as far as any like swing trades, we're not at any like great levels yet. So like there's no reason to get long for a swing trade, guys. There's no reason to get short for a swing trade. We're not sitting at any like significant levels just yet. But I think there could be a nice day trade from 120 short down the 118 if we get back below and stay below 120. I think that looks good for today. All right. Well, my time has come to an end, ladies and gentlemen. We do these streams Monday, Wednesday, and Friday here on TikTok and YouTube from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. It's called the pre-market rundown. And this is what to expect those 3 days a week. We come in, get you guys prepared, right? And we hand everything to you on a silver platter. What's good for today, my plans, teaching you guys at the same time. You guys can learn through this process. And we do it 3 days a week for an hour just to, really help you guys out. Help you guys become better traders. Start learning how to trade like a pro. Make some money. And at least you have a great place you guys can be to learn how to trade, and you can just clear out the noise with a lot of these other TikTok traders that, with all due respect, just really don't know how to lead and how to educate, in my opinion. I've been doing this for nearly a decade. I've been coaching for 5 years. I've been coaching longer than most traders on TikTok have been trading. So at least this is a great place to come in, learn the right way to trading, get some great guidance, some recommendations, do the next steps just to make this a good year so you guys can make some money. So we'll be back Friday, 8 o'clock here on TikTok. That's Eastern time, by the way, 8 a.m. Eastern. TikTok Live, YouTube as well. Join the free community. Get some support, go through those trainings, get some lessons and stuff, and start making it happen, guys. All right. Peace out. Stay blessed. God bless everybody. I will catch you guys back here Friday morning, 8 o'clock on the talk. And on the tube as well, on the tube. Peace out. Stay blessed, everybody, and I will catch you later.